False Prince by Jennifer Nielsen, presented by the 6th grade ELA class at McCandless Elementary in Hudson, Kansas. In the land of Carthia, the regent Connor is seeking a boy for his evil plot, so he goes to an orphanage and finds a boy named Sage. Turns out, once Sage had woken up from being knocked out, two other orphan boys were there, Roden and Latimer. But Connor kills Latimer when he attempts to escape. Connor went to another orphanage and picked up Tobias since Sage knew him.
Just before dark, Connor got out salted meat and fresh fruit to eat. During the night, when everyone was asleep, Sage woke up and he was chained up to Mott, one of Connor's vigils. Connor gave them a lecture about Carthia and education on their way to Connor's estate in Farthenwood.
So then they finally arrived at Farthenwood, Connor's large stone mansion. Sage decided he was going to take a quick walk outside. When he came back, Errol, his servant, was calling Sage's name. Connor told the boys about his plan at dinner. Carthia was in danger of attack and the royal family had disappeared and were feared dead.
Connor wanted to train one of the boys to be a false Prince Jaren to save the country. After Connor told the boys about the plan, Sage was angry and the other two boys were excited. Mott took Sage out to practice sword fighting, and Mott let Sage pick a sword to practice with, and Sage picked the prince's copy sword. While at dinner, Sage noticed a quiet girl named Imogen.
The next day, while they were at dinner, the boys learned that they had 2 weeks to learn everything they need to know. Sage challenged Cregan, one of Connor's thugs, to a horseback riding challenge, when Cregan put Sage on a wild horse to show his lack of skills. Sage fell off the horse, and Mott found him laying on the ground. Once Mott and Sage got back to Farthenwood, Connor said that Imogen wrote a note that said to quit looking at her.
Tobias' servant threw a book at Imogen, and Sage pulled out Mott's knife. The imitation of Prince Jaren's sword went missing, and Connor thinks either Sage, Roden, or Tobias stole it.
Sage had went outside, and now he was locked out with nowhere to go but Connor's room. As Sage went to Connor's room, he discovers the secret passages. Sage was not going to give up his gold, so he was took to the dungeon. Sage is being beaten until he gives his gold to Connor. Imogen felt bad, so she went to the dungeon and fed and talked to him. Sage is hurt on his back. Sage was taken from the dungeon to speak to Connor. Connor knows about Tobias's notes. Connor finds out Sage can play the fiddler. They meet the betrothed princess, Amarinda. Roden finds out what Tobias did to Sage. The three boys all change to look like Prince Jaren.
Sage, Roden, and Tobias hid in the tunnels from Vodagrath's men. The king of Carthia came to Karchar. Sage did not bow and got clubbed in the calves. Imogen distracts one of Vodagrath's men and almost got stabbed. Sage stabbed one of Vodagrath's men, and Mott saw it and covers the story by stabbing himself.
Sage does the coin roll on his hand and gets chosen for that, because Prince Jaren was known for that trick. Sage talked to Mott, then he got in an argument with Imogen. He wanted to help save Imogen's life. They were on their way to Dryliad to present the false prince to Carthia.
They arrived at the inn halfway to Dryliad and had to stay the night. Sage eats breakfast and talks to Connor about being Prince Jaren. Mott is told to hold back Sage, and Connor severely beats Sage and hurts him badly.
Connor gives Sage the lost Prince Jaren's crown to wear for the announcement. They get to the castle and the guards stop them. They are turned away, so they plan to go in the castle another way.
They go in through the castle's sewage system, and Roden and Sage battle each other. Cregan suddenly appears and Mott stabs him in the back. Sage gets to the main hall and announces that he is Prince Jaren, the lost prince. Sage and Amarinda dance after the announcement, and she says she feels betrayed and she won't marry him.
Sage has Vodagrath dragged from the castle and Connor sent to the dungeon. Prince Jaren has taken the throne of his dead family, and Carthia is safe, for now.